Hey, welcome in. My name is Chris and I host the UCB1 Rock Show. Now, every Tuesday I play a general mix of Christian hard rock and heavy metal. It's a Tuesday night, 10 till 11 p.m. and sometimes I'm blessed to be able to speak to some of those bands. Now, I only have time to play a few 3-4 minute clips of the interview on the air, and I do like to just have a space to put the entire thing, just in case anybody from the band, their families, or maybe people who listen to them want to go check it out. Now this is the full interview that I recently had with Lisa and Dan from Four Kingdoms Cause. It was an absolute delight. It was so much fun talking to them. This is what they had to say. On the air today, we have got Dan Ford and Lisa Hartley from the brand spanking new band. For Kingdom's Cause. I'm so excited to see you guys and to meet you for the first time. How's it going?
Going well, thank you, Chris. Yeah, we've been meaning to catch up for a while, haven't we?
Absolutely. How are you doing, Dan? You okay, mate?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thanks for having us on, Chris. Much appreciated.
Fantastic. Well, as I say, it's the first time that we've met officially. Although
Mm.
I've been I've been cyber stalking you for several weeks and stuff. So I'm loving the music, I'm loving the band. But what would be really amazing is if you could just, I don't know, just tell us a little bit about yourselves, a little bit about like your music, and then we'll kind of dig into it a little bit deeper as we go.
Do you want to go first, Dan?
No, go on, you go first.
So I'm Lisa. I'm the singer of The Kingdom's Cause. And when you say you want to know a little bit about me, I'm a mum of two. I'm married to my lovely husband, Ryan, who I met when I was at school, and we've been together forever. Always loved music, always just it's just been something that has always just been like, oh yes, it's got me through hard times, good times. Music's just huge for me. So yeah, being in this band is everything that I ever sort of dreamed of, really. It's a little bit crazy to think that here I am at the age of 39 now, just doing this. So I'm just massively grateful.
Fantastic. So obviously this band is quite new. So what
Yeah.
previous kind of experiences have you had in bands, playing music, stuff like that?
So growing up, I was actually in a band called Vermersa when I was 16, 17. So we used to just hang out in a friend's garage, and we used to just bash out the songs, usually get knocks from the neighbors because we're too loud. And we used to do that old school sort of print out a CD, cover, take them into the pubs and be like, hey, can you play our music, please? And can you see if we can come and gig in your pub? So it was like the old school days. You didn't have social media to do it all. It was far more face to face. So yeah, I was in a band for a couple years. Then that fizzled out, and actually, I didn't do anything for years and years and years. And it's only been sort of in my 30s that I've got back into it.
Oh, that's awesome. Dan, was you in Lisa's bands
Mhm.
as well, or how do you come into it?
I mean, we were in the early 2000s. We were kind of in the scene together, had gigs with Lisa's band, my band alongside Lisa's band, kind of chopped and changed bands myself, but sort of always same as Lisa, been into music forever. Good times, hard times, all of that good stuff. And then, so yeah, knew Lisa for a long time. And then we got in a previous band, sort of what, 2023, 2022, 2023.
Yeah.
So we then were in another band together. That band unfortunately ended. And then I joined another band, kind of sort of through 2024. And then I left that. About a year ago. And me and Lisa always stayed in contact. And you just about to release your sort of first single, aren't you, Lisa? Renovation. And I was free at the time, so I said, if you want to do any drumming or want to work together, let me know.
Yes,
We had
please.
and yeah, we just come back together. The songs that we had from the previous band, we worked with an amazing producer and engineer, Joe Marsh, from a studio in Somerset, Barton St David. and he like rewrote all the songs, and we reworked them, and then yeah, and here we are now with the seven track or 8 track album.
That's
Incredible.
amazing.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I
the
love
way
that.
it's all come around is awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like the stars align, man. But it's so you got Lisa saying that you coming towards the big 4-0, and you've been
Yes.
out of music for quite a long time. You're a mom. I'm hearing a lot of the similar kind of notes or beats that I had in my life, right? Because I gave up. I was in bands when I was in teens and 20s, and we were terrible, but we were going to take on the world. We were going to
Of
be.
course.
We were, and we definitely did the printing off CDs and burning
Hmm.
CDs and paper flyers and all of that
Uh-huh.
terrible stuff that didn't work. But we were going to be rock stars. It was going to be amazing. Then I came home and had like the family and nothing, just no music.
Hmm.
But did you? I'm hearing I'm guessing you had very similar kind of issues, like finding good musicians who will just turn up and play. Did you have that kind of experience as well, or it can be hard
Um,
to find band members?
it is a difficult one, isn't it? Because when you're older, you have different priorities. It's not just
Yeah,
you all hang out as teenagers and you just hang around in the garage anymore.
no,
And gig whenever. You have families, you have lives, you have jobs and all this stuff, and you got to fit it in. So to find people that are still into music at this age, like all the stuff that I used to be into, all of that heavy sort of stuff,
yeah.
and that have got like the sort of same priorities as me. And obviously, I'm going to chuck the faith thing in there as well. It just makes it really difficult to actually find people who want to sort of do music with you. So yeah, at the moment it's just the two of us, but we are actually putting our feelers out for guitarists at the moment.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so if we're in, you're in Trowbridge, aren't you? So this
We
is,
are.
so anybody who's playing guitars, get in touch. Get in
Yeah,
touch.
absolutely.
Fantastic. So obviously the UCB1 Rock Show is it's a faith-based station. It's usually Christian rock, but I understand that we've got Lisa, you're in the faith, and Dan, you're not. So how does that dynamic work when it comes to writing or performing or just a general being in a band relationship?
Do you know what? I went through such a battle sort of with music because I wanted to come back to music again. And I was like, okay, but I'm a Christian now. So I should probably do it like this certain way.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I was learning, I was new. So I didn't know what was acceptable, what wasn't. I was trying to like do the right thing. And I was like, yeah, but how can I play this music? And how can I play with other people that aren't Christians? How will this work? And it's bizarre. But actually, like it doesn't matter to me. I think as long as you are, producing good fruits and you're doing things for the right reasons, um, everyone's on a different journey. And who am I to go, you're not allowed to do this music, or, you're not worthy to be in this band, or I'm better than you because I'm a Christian and you're not. No, none of that. We are all here together, and no matter what our faith and our belief, we get on really well. Dan and I, we're really passionate about the music and writing and performing and all of that, and it just works really well. He's
Yeah,
fine with
brilliant.
my faith, and I'm fine with him. He just nods and grins sometimes, and probably think, okay, but it's cool. It works.
But similar to what Lisa said, who am I to say? I love Lisa's lyrics and the tracks. So we had them from a previous band, so to kind of rework them and bring them up a couple of years and bring them a bit more modern, yeah, it was just feels right. So it's just a great partnership and a really good combination.
And all the songs really, they're about positive experience. Well, not positive experiences, but they're trying to sort of inject a bit of hope into whatever situation you're in. And I mean, who doesn't want a bit of hope, and
I
rock
th
out to a bit of that.
Absolutely. I mean, when I got the album through, I really enjoyed it. It definitely speaks into lots of very universal human issues, struggles to find meaning and struggles with like disappointments and dark
Mm,
times and things like that. They are they are in the Christian faith, they're the things that we feel that, God uses to refine us. But, I think also when you're not in the faith, these are the things that drive us towards like looking for purpose and meaning. And,
Mm.
I think that when, my story was very much one where some very challenging times in my life caused me to look more deeply into these kind of things. So it's not like, and it's not like those issues went away when you come into the faith either, is it? Yeah,
No.
I was listening to this burden when I was before I was like coming onto the show, and I loved the lyrics on that. It was much more a slower kind of introspective track, and it just reminded me of Matthew 11:30. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. I'm sure that was kind of
Yeah.
be in the idea there, and it's like who can't who can't relate to like these universal issues. So I think it's great that you can have these people from two different, I guess, perspectives coming together
Mhm.
just to create this positive messages and encouraging people together to kind of find hope. I think that's what I got. Maybe tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, no, absolutely right.
That's
And
spot on.
the artwork on this burden, you can't see it on Spotify or anything, because obviously it's not released as a single, but the artwork that I created is like a yoke on there, like zoomed in. So that is what it's about. And actually that was the very first song I ever wrote, that one. Yeah, it was the
Wow.
first one. And I remember sending it to a guy who we were in the band with at the time. And I remember being like, I just wrote a song. And I was like so like excited about it. I was like, wow, I actually did it. I never thought I could. So that was the start of it all.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think you're the first band that I've ever known to release a track every single month for like 5 months and then an album. And it's just like, right, it's an impressive work ethic there. How is that like being received in the industry or just in general from people who are into this kind of music?
Do you want to say anything down, or shall I jump?
Well, I mean, it seems to be good from
Mm.
the bits and pieces I've seen. Yeah, it seems to be positive with the tracks that we released, and looking sort of forward to the feedback now with the collective of the album. But yeah, I mean, obviously, anything you've seen, Lisa?
Yeah, it's funny because in the States they seem to love it.
Yeah.
They've been playing it on the radio quite a bit. In the UK as well, obviously, but much more so in America. They're very receptive to it there. And actually, just until lately, we were sort of, I didn't feel that we were sort of not accepted, but we weren't in the sort of heavy Christian, you like metal sort of genre. But it seems just lately, some of the more heavier like pages on Insta that, share metal bands and things, they're actually really liking our stuff. So I don't know whether it's the couple of heavier ones that we've dropped in the album that's sort of appealing to some of the more heavier lovers as well. So it's really cool.
It's amazing because you pick up on something I think is quite noticeable from when I became a Christian, I was like, well, I can't listen to Slipknot anymore because there's too much swearing in that, and I can't listen to all of my favorite bands, and I was just like did a little
Mm,
Google search, and I wonder if Christian and metal is a thing. This is how little I know, right? And so I knew
uh-huh.
and then these bands started coming up, and I started to like really, really enjoy it. But I found that it's all in America. Like all of these
Yeah.
bands are American, and there's only if like I can name on like one hand how
Uh-huh.
many Christian rock bands there are in this country. So I'm not surprised that you're kind of getting more interest and being picked up more in
Mm.
America. They seem to have a much bigger scene for it out there.
Well, I tell you what, do you know how I actually found that Christians can actually do heavy music? It was actually through you and your rock show, because it's
Really?
really weird. So um I was driving home. I think we were coming home from like the kids were doing some singing thing. We were waiting for them to turn up at the school, and we just had the radio on really late at night. And we had UCB on, and I never knew there was a rock show, and it came on, and it was you, and I was like, what is this? I was like, this is so cool. Like again, like you, I was so new to it. I didn't even know it existed. I just thought there was either this worship that I'd heard or the other stuff like Slipknot. And I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was even an in between. So I heard your show and I literally went and like followed all the people that you played. And I was like, this is so cool. And I actually posted on it. I posted on my Instagram about it. So it's really weird to look back now and be like, oh, I'm now like on the Rock Show chatting to you, and that's how I found it all. So yeah, it's really, really cool.
Oh,
That's come full circle.
Yeah,
that is
proper
epic.
full circle. I'll send you the screenshots because I looked earlier.
Oh, that's amazing. Because who writes to a radio station? I mean, generally, who does? Nobody sends emails to people. You listen to the radio, you love it, it's great. And it's very rare for people to email you. You get maybe 1 or 2 or 3 a month, you know, and it's appreciated and you love it. But a lot of the time you sat there just thinking, is there anyone out there?
Anyone listening?
Anybody? And I know they are because, you know, we get figures and stuff. There are people out there, so it's just really amazing to know that there are these little stories happening here, there, and everywhere. So you've found out that Christian metal exists, and you're going to make that. Have you ever been involved in like traditional like Christian church worship? Have you? I do that on Sundays. I'm playing on my church worship band this Sunday, and it's going to be like the Hillsong kind of pop music with me with my heavy metal bass. But I digress. Have you ever done that kind of thing? What do you think of that kind of music?
I mean, that's all I knew at the start, so I thought that was it, which is why I became really resentful and then rebelled, and I was like, no, I will do my heavy music. But I still like some of that music. It's not my go-to, but I still like it and I enjoy it, and I am on the worship team at church once a month. Yeah, I do sing, and we're at Vineyard Church. So yeah, I am on the team. Sometimes I feel like I want to go for it a little bit more than would perhaps maybe go down particularly well. But no, I do really enjoy it. I really enjoy performing, singing all sorts of genres of music.
What has been the reaction to yourself from? I mean, it's been interesting to hear Dan being very receptive and respectful with your beliefs and your music, and I think that's incredible. But then there's the other side of it, isn't it? You know, you've got your church folk knowing that you're in this metal band or playing metal music. What's that been like for you?
Do you know what? It's weird because some people are like, oh, I heard your music. I wasn't expecting that from you, but I like it. So I've had that. I just realized that it's getting really dark in here. Can you still see me okay?
I can see you. I've got terrible lighting. It's all good.
But also at the same time, I sort of get this sense of like, oh, is she all right? Does she know what she's doing? You know, I do.
Come on, everybody! We need a quick prayer meeting for Lisa.
Yeah,
everybody, place your hands on her right now.
Yeah, it's almost like I feel like people are probably praying for me. I don't know, but I know where my heart is. It's music. It is worship to me, and some of my most like closest moments that I feel to God are me literally singing out some of these songs right from here, you know, from struggle and that. Sometimes it can be singing the other stuff too, but quite often it's the raw, you know.
I mean, I remember when I was at uni, and I used to love Korn. I was just mad into those guys. And we'd go to rock clubs, and you'd be just singing it out like I'd be on the dance floor just singing with all my mates. It was as if I could rip my heart out and throw it at the speakers. You know, it's just that kind of engagement. And I think when we can channel that kind of passion to something more positive, I think good things can happen. I think that's amazing. I remember I've got this. I think you just said a moment ago that you kind of got like a resentful thing happening inside church. What was that? Can you just pick up on that? What happened there?
Just because like when I started doing worship, I was a backing singer, so I wouldn't choose the tracks. I wouldn't have any sort of say on what I sung. So I would just sort of turn up on a Sunday, quite often I'd be told the day before or on the day. So I wasn't prepared, and I normally like to be prepared a little bit. And then I would just sing these songs, and they just didn't, to really feel something, you've like to really worship, you've got to feel it in the first place. I think you understand it, and resonate with it. And I think some of the songs I was like, just
am I just going through the motions?
Yeah, and it felt a little bit like that. And I think I just got so resentful of, I didn't feel like I was bringing my true self, and it just felt a bit disingenuine to me. And I was like, am I just performing up here, as this church person and not Lisa,
Oh, it's interesting that you say that. I don't just do this. I also got a YouTube channel and like do Christian living stuff. And I was gonna make a video. I'm planning it out about my experiences of being on worship, because there's a lot of people who don't like the modern worship music, and they don't understand or ever really see what happens behind the scenes with the worship leaders. And that experience that you're mentioning there of like maybe not being involved, not having a choice in what you're playing. Do I really like this music? This is things that we feel, but we're trying to lead people in worship. We're trying to, get ourselves out of the way, and bring people into this place of encounter with the Lord. And it's it's a serious kind of thing that we do. But it's maybe I would love to get your feeling about how you kind of manage your heart in those kind of situations where you kind of, you're focusing on the audience, but you're also, you're trying not to make it about yourself, but you're also trying to like get passionate about something that's maybe not your priority. And I don't, can you just talk me through how you approach that? Because it's for me, it's a battle. So I'd love to know how that works for you.
Yeah, I have found it difficult at times, and because I'm in a band as well, and because I do performance stuff as well, I often worry people will look and think, oh, is she just performing? And I'm like, well, no, I'm actually worshiping. So I think if anything, I don't bring myself as much as I would probably like
Hold
to
back.
for fear of, does it look like I'm trying to perform? And actually I'm not. But I guess I sometimes second guess what people think of me, rather than actually just bringing it. I'm a lot better now. Like I do bring my full self a lot more than I did.
Yeah. And it's funny because when you bring your full self and you're fully present, that's when you connect more with the congregation, and you can help.
And that's when I do get, people coming up afterwards and saying, oh, thank you so much, that was really wonderful worship. And at the same time, it's almost like you don't want to be like, oh, thanks so much, but like, of course you need that feedback, don't you? It's
so, and I love hearing that. I mean, that is for me, that's that tension, that difficulty that you're describing there. That's the mark of humility. It's the mark of someone whose heart's in the right place for even doing that. I think if you was not even questioning it, if people are not even questioning how they're approaching that, then maybe they've gone a little bit further towards it being about them. It's interesting. Anyway, we haven't got a lot of time left, unfortunately. So I want to go over to Dan, because I know I've kind of bitten your ear off a lot.
Sorry, Dan.
But we've got this album. It's just dropped today as we're recording this, which is absolutely amazing. Tell me, what are your I don't know, hopes for how this is going to go, where it's going to go, and the future of For Kingdom's Cause?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it just sort of opens us up to a bit more of an audience. We've been looking at, we naturally want to progress the band. Lisa's got a busy family life, busy with work. We're at that age where we can't just go full band, however kind of annoying that might be.
No full European tour.
I mean, we would if the circumstances were right, not going to lie.
Yeah, it would be incredible. Hopefully the album can open up some opportunities. We'd love to do some gigs. We're looking at doing a hometown show sort of coming up in July, but maybe some more kind of, not saying bigger gigs. We don't want to. We've done the pub thing. We'd love to just play somewhere maybe a little bit bigger if it opens up the opportunities to do some more Christian shows. maybe sort of some Christian festivals maybe next year. Appreciate lineups are going to be all in place and things for this year, but that's kind of what we're hoping, is we can just get a bit more exposure and we can naturally just progress to some bigger and better gigs in the coming months.
Fantastic. And Lisa, what about yourself?
Yeah, we've literally just confirmed our hometown gig today. We did a conference not long ago in Ireland, but this one we're looking to put on is actually one that we can invite people to, because that was a private thing that we did. So the 17th, it was the 17th, wasn't it, Dan? 17th of July.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're just making plans for that. That's really exciting. And like Dan said, we're not putting pressure on it to get anything from this. We're doing this because we love it, and we've got, gifts and talents that we want to share with people. But obviously, if opportunities came up, we would love that. We love doing this. We love performing. We love sharing the music. So yeah. We're just excited to see where God wants to take it.
Awesome. Fewer shows, but better, that kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. Well, for my part, I love the album. I think it's amazing. If I had more time, I would sit here and dissect every single track and just tell you what I like about every single one. And I'm not.
Well, I'd love to know at some point.
Well, we'll have to have another conversation again, because I really do love the album. I think it's incredible. And I'm going to be playing it regularly on the show. Hopefully, people come and find your music that way. And, I'm just wishing all the best for you guys in the future. So that's all the time I've got today. So I will say, Lisa and Dan from For Kingdom's Course, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So I hope you enjoyed that interview with Lisa and Dan from For Kingdom's Cause. I really enjoyed speaking to those guys. In the description of this video is going to be all of their socials if you want to go and check them out. And if you want to check out the UCB1 Rock Show, you can see that every Tuesday, 10 till 11 p.m. on National Radio, DAB National Radio, or through the Player app. You can download the UCB Player app from Apple and Android stores, or you can just listen to it through the website. And don't forget, you can go back for the previous 2 weeks' shows and even download them if you want to keep them, if you're that much of a fan. Thank you so much for checking it out, and I will see you again real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.